This tree, this forest, this earth was here. This tree, for its happiness and its ultimate life, it's lived here. Never had to travel a distance. It never was worried about a time. It was never concerned about space. It just became a tree, we call it. Ourselves, we call it a tree. We don't even call it a tree. We also go on about making names of these forested area for our logic convenience of life, so that we can relate, communicate, represent, respect, regard, disregard, disrespect, like, dislike, joy, misery, peace, war, anger, happiness. All of this has been created for the human experience to evolve into a better place. Yet, we have made an incredible state of everything we touch, see, feel, taste, and smell. With this understanding, we go on about making decisions, conclusions, and limiting ourselves to fulfill this individual life to its highest possibility. The tree's done just that. It was planted here as a cell, a seed, a plant, and it became a giant like this. Along that life, it also had an incredible joy of living. We come here and feel the wooded, forested area because I can feel that these trees are carrying part of my lungs just now. With the amount of oxygen it's gathered, the diatoms it produces with the interaction with every other life here, and it produces oxygen. It stimulates the air, stimulates the atmosphere, and it then stimulates us through means of air, oxygen, all you want to call it. These trees are not here to fulfill your joy and my joy. It has fulfilled its entire highest life possibility whilst it was here. It will go back. It never traveled a distance. It stayed here. It doesn't have a carbon footprint like I do. We call it carbon footprint. The amount of fossil fuels that we call it, that we burn. All of those things we've introduced to make a confusion become even more confusing for a simple-minded life. With this, we carry on to further limit ourselves to become nothing and not being able to understand how this entire existence works. So when that is the case, when we do not know how this existence operates and works, we make a philosophy. Look at this tree, and it is about possibly the end of its life, and it's slowly shedding the other life that has lived on. And it's still got the nutrients in this bark that has fallen off from a top there to live on. And that, with a drop, has just sprouted from this piece. See how intricate and how fragile this entire existence is. And with this understanding, if we walk and we become part of this existence and dissolve into it, you can never know it by dissection or by conclusion or by other means. You can only know life by dissolving into this life. That is an infinite space of no limit. When there are no limit in possibilities that is ahead of this road, the end can only be determined by you, by concluding life, coming to make your own psychological conclusion, but it has no existential meaning because the existence does not put boundaries and borders and limits. All of what we have made to make ourselves a prisoner. We are, I should say, the walls of our self-preservation of today will also become the walls of imprisonment tomorrow. And it is a fact. With this, you continue to live and look for happiness. All you're going to know is stress, disillusion, confusion, misunderstanding. I always said, every understanding is a misunderstanding, the way we carry on living with our logic mind.